What's up guys, I'm Taylor with TK Disc Golf and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I've got my hands on the Fission Trail from MVP. This is James Conrad's control driver and it's got the flight numbers 10 speed, 5 glide, -1 turn with 1 fade, making it a dependable control driver off the tee for all skill levels. So without further ado, let's dive into the review. Now, for those of you that might not be aware, Fission plastic from MVP has microscopic bubbles in the core of the disc to reduce the core weight as much as possible, and then they pump extra weight filler into the overmold to help increase the gyroscopicness of the disc, thus increasing the glide, increasing how fast the disc can spin, keeping it in the air longer. That's the general idea. Now, the wind direction today at my throwing field was a little bit abnormal. Normally it's most of the time a tailwind, but today it was like a left to right with a slight headwind push to it, causing the disc to flip over a little bit faster than I think it normally would. Obviously this disc does have a ton of dome and the PLH is a little bit lower than a normal neutron trail, but I think this will have a still very straight flight for most arm speeds. Hyzer releases, I was getting it to flip up the flat relatively quickly with this wind direction, and it would turn a little bit and then still have a nice hookup at the end, overall resulting in some crazy straight flights. The less Hyzer you give this disc, the more it's wanting to drift to the right on these right-hand backhand lines before it comes back to center. Overall, the longest distance throws are on these Hyzer flip type shots because, man, I was getting this thing every bit at 375 to 380. The ball diamond at this field is around the 375 mark, and I was getting 5 to 10 feet into the ball diamond, which you can't see on camera, but it was absolute crushes for a 10-speed disc. I was very impressed with it. Due to the wind direction, I wasn't able to get any intentional anhyzer releases because it would have just resulted in a roller. The grass is too long for that, and I don't throw rollers very often, but I did have a few shots I was able to get turning from left to right pretty good on some slight hyzers where the wind just absolutely ate the disc up. So ideally, this disc is going to be good for tailwinds or slight left to right pushes. Anything that's a headwind, I would not pull this disc out of the bag. Now, the normal neutron trail definitely has a bit more stability than this Fission version. Normal neutron, I'm able to pop it on a little bit of a hyzer. It flips up to flat and goes laser straight, and definitely does not have as much high-speed turn as the Fission version. I would say that the actual flight numbers for this Fission trail, this one's a 170 gram. I would put it at more of like a -2 to -2.5 turn with a 1 fade, because I do have to pop it on a good amount of hyzer to get it to stay flying straight. Now, for how I would use this disc on the course, definitely would be using it in the woods where there is some tight lines I have to hit off the tee. Pumping a hard shot on a hyzer, getting it to flip up through a gap would be super ideal. Now, the course I threw out today doesn't have a lot of distance driver holes that are good for this disc. And also it was super crowded, so I couldn't really jump around like I normally do. So I was only able to throw a few holes here, but one of my favorites is hole 18. Long turning shot to the right. It's a gradual turn and you have to get the disc to fly super straight initially, and the turn comes very late to flight. And honestly, this trail is perfect for this shot. So I may actually try to incorporate the backhand turnover shot on this hole. Normally I try to take the right gap there under the trees with something a little bit more straight to stable finish, but this disc actually is able to hold that turn and actually turn late into the flight, which is cool to see. And also you are able to get the Fission trail to hold a nice gradual hyzer all the way to the ground as long as you don't overexert it. If I was throwing this thing about 70% power, I was able to get it to hold that hyzer very beautifully, tons of glide, and on this hole downhill about 350 feet or so, got all the way there no problem. Overall, my thoughts of the Fission trail: if you're a fan of the neutron version, definitely going to want to pick one of these up. It's a great complement to it. The neutron version, much straighter, much more power friendly. The 10-speed class is definitely what you want to be using for a max distance driver if you don't throw a ton of distance. So the Fission version will offer extra glide for you versus your higher power throwers like myself. Definitely going to love this thing for those hyzer flip long shots. I want to thank you guys for watching this quick review video of the Fission trail. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to hit subscribe to our channel so we don't miss any of our future uploads, and we'll see you on the next video.